So we're here to have this conversation today about Charging Forward, ACT's latest commercial electric vehicle study. And as we have wrapped up the study, as we're going through what we're terming our executive summary calls, which are the calls going over the results of the study, and as we're selling this study to those who did not participate, we're finding that we are getting some really great response from those study participants as well as from those who have purchased the study. So we thought it'd be a really good opportunity to dive into a little bit more how we went through this process, who, without naming names, the customer set for the study were, and how we went through the process to create such a well constructed study that's getting such a great response. So Jim Meal, Principal Industry Analysis at ACT Research, I'm going to turn it over to you to get this process started and talk about what our customer makeup looked like for this study.
Thanks, Ian. We're very excited to release our Charging Forward study. Taking a look at alternative power for the commercial vehicle industry is really in the DNA of ACT Research, going all the way back to our initial work in natural gas almost 10 years ago. We renewed and redirected that work in 2018 with the first of our studies in the electrical vehicle space. It was well received by customers, really a thumbs up and really an endorsement, and it gave us the incentive to revisit that work 3 years down the road. And if anything, this is a more exciting product in large part because we had 29 charter customers for our work. And these customers are across the full spectrum of the commercial vehicle space, a number of different stakeholders among traditional OEMs, tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers, financial firms, fleet operators, leasing companies, and perhaps the most exciting of all, even though all of our customers get me excited, we had participation by some of the new OEM entrants. So our process takes in input and has conversations with these customers and reflects not only our own thinking, but also the benefit of the dialogue that we conduct with these customers who really helped our study along. And for some additional perspective, what I'd like to do is turn to my colleague, Ann Rundle. Ann is, while she's new to ACT Research, relatively new, she's a longstanding veteran of the motor vehicle industry with particular expertise and a particularly interesting view of studies like our electrical vehicle study. So Ann, I'm going to pass the baton over to you for your insights and comments.
So thanks, Jim, and thanks, Ian, as well. You're right. I've come from a different perspective, having spent a lot of time at a major tier 1 supplier in auto and commercial vehicles, and then spent a good amount of time working for an OEM in automotive as well as commercial vehicles. And so I've been for a long time a buyer of these kind of studies, and I also did a stint myself as an independent consultant, so I would have been somebody who created a study. So I think what is interesting to me, and I think what sort of differentiated, and Jim, you talked about 29 participants, and to me the volume of participants is a good thing because you've got a bunch of different data points, but just the breadth across the span, especially in this market. In commercial vehicles, electrification is still more in the infancy as if you would compare to automotive. But we had all the major OEMs and people who are actually making and selling and delivering battery electric trucks. So it's not just people who have what we would say my old company is a PowerPoint product, and you see a lot of companies that do that. You know, their input is interesting, but they're still on the what if and the dreamers. And we actually had people who were doing it, making it, guys who were the fleet guys who were using it. So yeah, we got real practical feedback instead of just some kind of a desk analysis.